Hello soul searchers, and welcome back to my channel where we use tarot to gain better insight into ourselves and the world around us. So as you can see from the title, today we are doing a pick a story. This is with the Sun and Moon Tarot by by Vanessa DeCourt. I threw out the box a long time ago, but fun fact, this is the first tarot deck I ever bought. So right after I learned tarot, I started with this one, and let me just say I started out very ambitiously. I don't think this is necessarily a beginner's deck. All that being said, basically today we are just going to do a pick a story. So I'm about to go ahead and draw 3 cards as well as look at the bottom of the deck. And those 3 cards will be the spread for everyone. From there, I will pull some charms, and then you can choose your pile based off of the charm that comes out. The charm may also end up becoming a part of the reading. I can't say at this juncture, but that does happen sometimes. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and pull some cards. I am seeing a couple of numbers. I'm seeing 444 on the camera as well as 111. Spiritual team that is for the highest good of this collective here, can you please give me 3 cards for what they're going through? 3 cards for the message that they need to hear at this time, or rather 3 cards for the message that we need to hear at this time. 141 on the camera. What 3 cards will give us the message that we need to hear at this time? Thank you so much, spiritual team that is for this collective. I ask that you come through the Sun and Moon Tarot and give me 3 cards that will provide the message to each pile for what they need to hear at this time for their highest good. 202 on the camera. Spiritual team that is for the highest good of this collective as well as myself, I ask that you come through the Sun and Moon Tarot and give us 3 cards that have the message that they need to hear, that we need to hear at this time. Okay. All of these flipped over, and that's 4. So we're going to put those to the side. I feel like that's immediately like no. I love that they're coming out in clumps like this. That's interesting. Putting those to the side as well. Okay. And then 2 came out with that too. That's so funny. So we're starting off big with the sun. That's beautiful. As I'm doing this, okay, here, let me just go ahead. I'm actually being reminded of a different spread that I was supposed to do for another reading, so I guess that'll be the one that I do next. The game is actually called Trash Can. So if you know that game, we have 9 of Wands, a lot of fire. All right, one more, please. I think we're going to be doing a trash can spread next. I'm seeing 313 on the camera. King of Swords. Ooh. All right, and then at the end, or rather on the bottom, we have Queen of Cups. The Sun, 9 of Wands, King of Swords, and then Queen of Cups at the bottom. Very interesting. All right, let's go ahead and get some charms. All right, charm 1, you are a black star. Sun right there. Charm 2, you are, what is this? I'm not gonna lie to you, I can't tell if this is a rocket ship or a squid. You're one of those though. Choose your story and stick with it. All right, so pile 2, that is you. Right, pile 3, you are like a fishtail, fins. A black fishtail, black fins, however you want to say it. This cloud here just briefly turned into a dog face for me. That might be for somebody who's wondering if they should even be on this reading. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the readings. You guys can go to the timestamp in the description box. Feel free to choose the timestamp associated with the charm that you resonate with, and that will take you directly to your reading or your interpretation of this spread here. I will give you 30 seconds or so to just meditate, and hopefully that will help clarify for you. So go ahead, take your time, and I'll see you guys at your reading. Alrighty, pile one, my black stars. Hello and welcome to your reading. So for you guys, this is not just a charm. This is literally your energy. You are a black star. So you know that this is your reading, or maybe this is just confirmation. If you want to be a public figure, an entertainer, a content creator, it's like something that you want to do, but it requires having eyes on you in order to make money or in order to live the life that you want to live. So politicians, anything in the public eye, anything that requires eyes on you, this is who this reading is for. So if that doesn't resonate, feel free to watch, but just know that this may be for entertainment purposes, or it may be for someone that you know. Now, with the sun here, this is kind of the part that's tying me back to the black star, because the sun is a star, right? And it shines very bright. I was also immediately drawn to this Nine of Wands, and how, you know what, I was going to try to break down card by card. I can't do that for you guys. I don't know why. The energy is just, it's very fast. So I'm just going to tell you what I'm saying. Basically, you are able to become a public figure almost overnight, seemingly. Like from the outside looking in, it seems like you're kind of an overnight sensation, but it's actually after years or months of very hard work. And the reason why it seems like overnight is because suddenly it's like one day you wake up and suddenly you have all the subscribers, the followers, the constituents, like whatever it is. And this may be a point of tension for you right now with this Nine of Wands. You may feel very invisible, kind of going back to this black star. It's like you shine bright, but nobody's seeing it. That's really a form of protection for you right now. This is allowing you time to refine. It's allowing you time to get more in touch with yourself. It's allowing you time to figure out what it is you really want to do. It's really allowing you time to ultimately just refine yourself, your image, your mind, whatever it is that needs to be refined, so that when people do finally see you and when you do finally get all of that attention and all of those eyes on you, you're almost like flying past it, like this King of Swords here. So, for example, you may post a video that doesn't start getting views until, let's just say, a year later. It's not necessarily going to be that long, but let's just say it's a year later. By the time people start watching that video, they may start commenting on something that you said, or they may start trying to criticize you in a certain type of way. And it's like, because it's a whole year later, you're able to respond a little better because you're not technically still there in that moment. So let's just say you say something fucked up. You say something that's like you don't necessarily agree with anymore, but maybe at the time the video got posted, you did, and you just kind of forgot that you said it because it's been a whole fucking year. It's like when that criticism comes up, you're able to kind of get in front of it and say, yeah, I apologize. I completely forgot I said that. That was a year ago. I don't still feel that way. Or maybe you do still feel that way, and you can navigate from there. It's just the example, but it's like by the time people are seeing you, you're already advancing to another thing. And that is a form of protection. I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know who or what you're being protected from exactly. But it's something about the fact that you have kind of changed is something that's coming up. Like, by the time people see one video, you're a whole other person. Or you're in a whole other level. You're talking about something else. You're doing something else. I also just got the phrase, proof is in the pudding. So it's like, you may say something in a video, and I keep coming to videos because that's what I want to do. I want to be a content creator, but y'all know I'm an artist. I have put out music. I've written books. So just like anything creative, I'm there for it, but all of it requires having eyes on me, right? So this is why I keep coming back to content creation. Let's just say you post a video and a year later, you're living the life that you said you wanted to live in that video that you posted a year ago. But you don't start getting eyes on you until a year from then, when you're actually living the life that you were talking about. So you might get comments that start saying, yeah, you're saying all this, but where's the actual proof? Where's the manifestation tactics? Like, how do we know this actually works? And it's like you were a living example. So by the time people are seeing the video, you can literally give them proof. Like, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing everything I said in this video, and this is how I did it. A lot of things about being able to show and prove, not just talking the talk, but also being able to walk the walk and really follow those things through. That's kind of what I'm getting with this King of Swords as well. So yeah, you guys, the challenge here with this Nine of Wands is that you might feel blocked. Some of you also may feel attacked, and for some reason the word spiritually attacked is what specifically just came through. I'm going to leave that to your discernment. I'm not really feeling that, but you know things best. You know your energy best. You know best what your experience is. So if you are feeling spiritually attacked, just know that you do have the strength, you do have the knowledge to take that power back. You could do cord cutting, you could do cord pulling, you could do cleansing, you could do protective work, whether that's wearing protective crystals or doing protective spells. Like, you could pray. Whatever your thing is, you have the power to take that back if you do feel like you're under spiritual attack. What I really feel, you are being hidden right now for your own protection, but that's not going to always be the case. Not at all. Not at all. You guys are being allowed to fly under the radar. Like, I'm noticing how this King of Swords, he's flying on a horse under these birds up here. I was about to say crows, so crows may be specific or significant for you, but I don't know what type of birds those are. He's flying below them. Over here under the sun, these people are running through a field underneath the sun. So it's something just about you being allowed to fly under the radar, and then when it's time, people will see you. And by the time people do see you, it just allows you to continue to be free, to continue to flow and do, because nobody's seeing you in real time. Maybe a few people, but not a significant amount, whatever significant means to you. So yeah, it just allows you to have the mindset shifts, the refinement that you need in the meantime while you're working towards your goals. Something about you being hidden right now is a protection. So pile one. I realized I was talking kind of fast, but that is all I'm seeing for you. Actually, that's a lie. Let me just ask really quick. Yeah, okay. All right. Another thing, because the Hermit is what just came out. So pile one, another thing for you guys with this black star. Another thing for y'all is that you're meant to shine a light on darkness. And each of you are going to have to determine what that means for you. If you've been here, if you've explored my channel, you already know some of the shadowy work that I do. It doesn't mean it's bad. It doesn't mean it's scary. But it is just a little darker. Some of you guys also may be artists of like different types of artists, whether that's painters, dancers, singers, writers, whatever it is. It's like because that's the energy of creation. It's like you're taking something from the darkness, from the ether, and you're making it physical in some sort of way. You're making it something that people in the 3D can interact with. And it may be something that people wouldn't be able to interact with unless you actually brought it out into the world. So that's another thing you guys are being called to do and guided to do, and the reason why you're being hidden at this time, because when you're doing that sort of work, you do kind of have to go into hermit mode. You do have to really take time to sit with yourself and figure out what's living in your waters, especially with this Queen of Cups here. She does this work a lot, not exactly in the same way as the Hermit, but she is highly intuitive. And what I'm noticing about this card is that you see how she can see her reflection in the water? So it's almost like scrying may be important for some of you. If you're into divination and spiritual practices and stuff, scrying may be very important for some of you. I'm seeing 1155. But yeah, it's basically symbolizing how she's looking into the water, into the depths, to see what is being reflected back to her. So kind of same as the Hermit, he's going into his own cave. He's going into himself to learn more about himself. And then once you've done that work, it becomes a lot easier to communicate it out, to channel it out. But a lot of that work does kind of have to happen in darkness. It does have to happen in solitude. Not saying that you're always going to be lonely or you're always going to be alone when this is happening necessarily, because sometimes you could be in hermit mode still, even though you're in a room full of people. So I don't know why that's coming out. I think some of you guys may also have fire placement, specifically Leo, in your chart, because the sun is significant. It is represented by Leo. But even if not, some of you guys may just have this energy where you draw in darker energies, and dark doesn't necessarily mean bad, but you definitely may draw in people who are more loners, or like they're okay being to themselves, or like you may draw in people who are the total opposite of you. Something about many moons just came up, like many moons ago. Yeah. As the black star, you are meant to shine, but not necessarily in the same way the sun shines. The sun shines light onto the earth. It shines light into dark spaces. You shine a light on darkness, but not in the way that the sun like gets rid of it. You shine a light on the darkness just to make it visible for yourself. And then from there you could channel it out as this King of Swords in whatever sort of way. Because swords does represent communication and the mind. But specifically what I'm getting here is communication. So if you are a writer, you would channel out whatever you see intuitively into words. You would channel out whatever information you get from that hermit mode into your art. You would channel it out in some sort of way. If it's technology, it could even be that, especially considering this is the King of Swords. It could absolutely be some sort of technology. So maybe you have some new, fresh idea and you're able to innovate it, because not only do you have the knowledge, but you also have the skill set, and then you also took the time to sit with self and figure out what all would be needed to make that innovation possible. So yeah, all that being said, if you're not seeing the results you want to see right now, it is just so you can refine. Refine, refine, refine. That is the big word for you guys. It's not a punishment. It's not always going to be this way. For some reason, it does feel punishing. It's kind of what I'm picking up. Is like you guys may feel punished by it, but it's not always going to be this way. It's just giving you time to refine whatever that idea is, to refine yourself, if that's what needs to be done, to refine your art. And then you will get the eyes. But do keep doing the work. This isn't saying to just rest on your laurels and like, wait until you're quote unquote perfect to finally start posting the videos or creating the thing. No, definitely, I just got the only way out is through with this King of Swords. The only way out of the darkness is through it. The only way to take an idea from the realm of the other and making it physical is to keep at it, to keep practicing, to keep doing the thing. And especially with the word refinement kind of being you guys' keyword, that is a sense of like practice almost. Like you can't get better if you're not doing the thing. I can't get better at reading if I'm not consistently reading. I can't get better at making content. I can't get better at making thumbnails. I can't get better at social media unless I'm actively practicing all of those things. That's the way refinement happens, is going through it, not by just skipping over steps or just holding off until you're, again, perfect. So a lot of Virgo energy is coming up as well. You might have Virgo placements because the word perfect is really hitting. Some of you guys may feel like you need to be perfect before you can even start, and that's absolutely not the case. Do it now. Do it while you're hidden. That's actually like the easiest place to move for anyone. I'm not going to say for anyone, but for most people, that's the easiest place and the easiest way to move is when you're hidden, when you don't have eyes all over you. I'm almost getting like spy energy. Not that that's what you're doing, but it's just like you can move and shift and shake a lot easier when you don't have a lot of people watching you and expecting you to behave a certain way and expecting this and expecting that. Like people and their fucking expectations, bro. So yeah, pile 1, this is all I'm seeing for you guys. I hope this message helped, resonated, or at the very least entertained you. I want to say thank you to our spiritual team, that's for our highest good, for coming through and giving us this message. And I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, I will see you later, pile 1. Hello, pile 2, and welcome to your reading. So you guys chose the Rocketship Squid charm. I think it's really interesting that this does kind of look like both. So it's almost like however you want to interpret this, it's all up to you, you know? And I do feel like that's significant. So I just got Rocket by Beyonce. And specifically the breakdown where she keeps saying, rocket baby, until the water falls. It's a very spicy song. Alright. For some reason, for you guys, I'm having to like ground a little bit, like get into it, into the cards. Virgo energy is coming up. It came up for the first pile too, but it's definitely coming up for you guys again. Which is interesting because Virgo energy is earth energy, which is very slow. And Virgo specifically is a perfectionist. And that also makes things a little slower, right? Because you want to make sure that you are doing things correctly instead of just going balls to the wall. I'm seeing 212 on the camera. So the vibe that I'm getting here is like you guys need to just do it. Y'all have already created some stuff, especially with this Queen of Cups at the bottom. She's kind of sticking out for me too. Y'all have already created something or done something, but you are this Knight of Wands. You're like guarding your creation. You're guarding your idea with a fucking bat. Like you're not playing around. And there might be something about like being worried about copyright or being worried about your idea being stolen in some sort of way. If that's the case, then research what you need to research. But the energy here, especially with that song and that specific part, it's just like go for it. Like stop waiting, stop procrastinating. Because like I said, Virgo energy and even this Queen of Cups energy too, all of that is very slow moving. The perfectionist energy, it will procrastinate. Not because it's trying to avoid doing the thing, but because it's always not good enough. Like whatever the thing is that a perfectionist wants to do, it's never going to feel good enough. This message for you guys is basically just saying to do it anyway. Perfect or not, do it anyway. Release it anyway. Show the world anyway. Shed a light on what you've been doing anyway. It doesn't have to be perfect. And again, if you are worried about somebody stealing your idea, do what you got to do legally. If you need to get some contracts, if you need to just research and make sure there's no way they could steal your idea, like whatever you got to do the proper research, but don't keep using that as an excuse. I'm sorry I'm being so harsh. This is a totally different energy from like how the previous message came through, but this portion of the spiritual team, they are tired of y'all procrastinating. And I think it's because there's so much goodness on the other side of you just getting out of your own way. There's so much freedom, there's so much joy, there's so much more like speed, kind of. I don't know if that means that maybe you'll be able to do things a little quicker because other people are helping you after a certain point. I don't know if that means that maybe the inspirations come in a little quicker. But it's just like things getting done a lot quicker. This is almost the energy of like, I don't know. I don't even know what a good analogy would be, but it's like the first one is the hardest one, and then when you do it more and more often, it just gets easier. So you might have like a real fear of being seen, actually. The visual that I just got is like a squid when they ink. Squids do ink, right? Is that the right animal? I think I'm thinking about the right animal. Anyway, when squids produce the ink, and then all of a sudden all you see is like a black cloud around where the squid was. You can't even see them anymore. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting, is like some of you guys are very protective either of yourself or the things you've created, maybe both. But it's not that there's no need for protection, but you are definitely overprotecting. Shed a light on whatever it is you're doing. And again, the first one is going to be the hardest one. So if you're a songwriter or a singer, the first song is going to be the hardest one to put out. But then after you do that and consistently do it, like, it's going to get easier and easier. And that fear or whatever it is that you have is going to subside because it's training. Refinement is the word that came up a lot, and I am getting it for you guys as well, but in a slightly different way. It's almost coming through as like muscle memory for you guys. Like the more you work a muscle, the easier it gets to do the thing. So the more that you just put your projects out there and let people see them, the easier it is to do that thing. Have whatever it is you do, it seems like you have a lot of it. So if you, like I said, if you're a singer, it seems like you have a stockpile of songs just waiting to be released. If you're a writer, you have a lot of short stories or even a lot of novels that are just waiting to be released. If you have content, you want to be a content creator, you have a lot of content ready to go. Release it. Release it. Because that's a lot of the struggle with people in creative spaces, especially on social media. It requires consistency, and a lot of people, self-included here, a lot of people really struggle with keeping a consistent enough schedule to make the algorithm not punish us for it. But I don't see that being an issue for you guys once you finally just drop the shit. Like, I'm really getting, and this kind of came up for the first pile too, but in a slightly different way. It's like, by the time people see one project that you've released, you're dropping another one. This is the perception that they have. By the time they read one book that you've written, you're dropping another one, and they're going to be like, how the fuck is she doing all of this in 1 year? How the fuck is she doing all of this in a matter of weeks or a matter of months, whatever? And it's like, that's the sort of stockpile that you have. So just release it. And it does feel like there's a lot of goodness on the other side of you just putting it out there. A lot of goodness for yourself too. What I'm kind of getting is like you get more open-hearted. Again, with that protective energy from the Nine of Wands, this may be like something that you learn you had to do, or a way that you learn you had to be from childhood, or just from lifing, maybe different people or different situations caused you to self-protect. What I'm really getting is that you don't have to do that anymore. And then look at this, King of Wands underneath the Queen of Cups over here. There is something highly emotional going on with whatever it is that you have stockpiled, with whatever your art is. I just got Erykah Badu because I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit, period. Y'all may feel that way. You may have dealt with a lot of bullying or a lot of hypercritical people. And so you just feel like you would rather keep this thing to yourself, because if somebody says something about your art, that's when you lose it. That's when you snap. I really don't think that's going to be the reaction. I mean, granted, everybody's a critic. Everything in the world always gets some negativity. Even the perfect things. Even the perfect things get some sort of negative feedback. And I don't normally use this analogy, but I'm going to use it for you guys because I feel like y'all need to hear it. Jesus was perfect, and he still didn't have everybody on his side. So that should show you that it has nothing to do with who a person or a piece or whatever actually is, and more to do with other people's perception of that person, place, art, whatever. So, yeah, you might run into some criticism, but it's not going to break you. You're so much stronger than you know, pal, too. And your art deserves to be seen, because for every negative thing a person could say, I just feel like there's going to be at least 3 times as many people who are praising you or praising your work. I'm seeing 1111 on the camera. So work on your mindset, because 1111 does talk about your beliefs. With this King of Wands here, it was peeking out for you guys specifically. You have 2 kings here, plus the sun, plus the Queen of Cups. Like, honey, you are in such a place of power all over the place. You just have to tap into it. You just have to know who you are and refuse to accept other people's projections of you over your own. Stop allowing other people to think they know you better than you know yourself. You know yourself. You know your heart. You know your art. Everybody has an opinion, same way as everybody has an asshole. And everybody has a right to express it. Same as everybody has a right to shit. And there is something, like I said, you may have dealt with a lot of hypercritical people, and I can completely get you on this. It is hard to do. It can be crushing, especially if you're hypersensitive, with this Queen of Cups at the bottom, I do feel like you guys are. So it can be hard taking criticism for people, but there's something about how, as you do this work, as you share your art, as you share your heart, you really do become a bit more open-hearted, to the point where you can actually attract your soul tribe. Instead of these people who were just meant to be karmic lessons for you in this lifetime, you can attract the people who are actually a vibrational match to you, because you're releasing your art and they're getting a chance to see more of who you really are, instead of who you feel like you should be, or instead of who you are trying to pretend you are as a form of protection. The word protection is coming up a lot for you guys. So yeah, just know that, like, the more that you hide, and I understand why you would do that, I do, but the more that you hide, the more likely you are to run into these different circumstances and people that are still hypercritical. So I've been saying the word hypercritical, and in my head it just turned into hypocritical. So your spiritual team wants you to know that too, that, like, when people are hypercritical like that, 9 times out of 10 they're also hypocrites. Like, they're also holding you to standards that they don't hold themselves to. If anybody feels that comfortable pointing fingers at you, blaming you, criticizing you, if they're that comfortable doing that, it's because they haven't done any of that with themselves. It's because they are used to judging and pointing fingers at other people instead of looking at themselves. They've gotten used to just going through the world projecting shit onto other people instead of doing their own deep soul work. I don't know why, but I'm like really mad for y'all right now. I'm seeing 333 on the camera. So ancestral veneration may be important. Threes for me usually do tie to like ancestors, or at least someone in the spiritual realm. So it could be angels, it could be that starseed energy, like whatever energy you vibe with. It's something like spirit is literally conspiring in your favor, but you have to do the work. You have to, and I feel like y'all have done the work. I feel like y'all have done the work, and now it's just a matter of sharing it. Share it. Let people see it. I can't even tell you what goodness is on the other side of it. I just know it's good. I mean, the sun, King of Wands here, King of Swords. It's good. And it's going to come in pretty fast too, because fire energy, which is the sun and the King of Wands, and then swords energy, which is air, all of that is very fast moving. Those are the fastest moving suits in tarot. So just release it. Release all of those negative voices in your head, and definitely release your art. I am kind of being reminded of a YouTuber, Mozology. I'm being reminded of a story she told, and I don't know the exact details, but this is about her life. And she was basically talking about how when she first got into tarot, like her living situation wasn't great. I think she was with a partner or something that wasn't great. And she was just kind of looking for a way out. She was at a job that wasn't paying shit, probably like a lot of us here. And so she was just looking for a way out. And then she started posting those videos after having her tarot awakening, and it ended up helping her to get out of that toxic living situation and those toxic environments. So, and that's like a brief summarized version. This is something that she just kind of mentioned offhand in one of her readings. I can't even tell you which one. So if I misquoted something, Rosology, I'm so sorry. But that's kind of the energy that I'm getting for you guys. I'm also getting like Cardi B energy. She stripped, and she especially at the beginning, she talked about how stripping got her out of an abusive relationship. So what I'm getting for you guys is whatever that skill is, use it to propel yourself forward. A lot of this self-protection that you're having to do may literally be because of the environment you're in. And if that is the case, I am so sorry. And I'm sending you all of the willpower and good vibes to get the fuck up out of there. This is the message, is that those things that you are protecting and hiding are the very things that will help you get out of whatever situation you're trying to get out of. And for some of you, it may not be as horrible as being in an abusive space. It may literally just be in a bland ass job. Whatever it is for you, that thing that you're hiding will propel you forward in the way that you want. You have to trust that. All right, pile 2. This is all I'm saying. I hope this message helped and resonated in some sort of way. At the very least, I hope it entertained you. Thank you so much for being here. I want to thank our spiritual team that's for our highest good for being here and allowing me to translate this message for you guys. I definitely look forward to seeing y'all in the next video. But until then, I will see you later, pile 2. Pile 3, my black fin friends. How are you? So this is going to be your reading. Looking at the black fin, I just got the movie Shark Tales. I don't know why, but that may be significant for someone. I need to rewatch that movie. I haven't watched that in a while, actually. All right. This also, if I'm not mistaken, it looks like a whale fin or like a whale tail. I don't know. What the hell do you call the end of a whale? Whatever. It looks like what a whale has. And so there's something about emotional depth. Being able to go like really deep underwater and then bring something back up. So y'all are obviously my more spiritual group, or at least in this reading, y'all are the ones who are here for a more spiritual message. You guys are basically the healers, the spiritualists, the religious leaders, or psychics. However this relates to you, spirituality seems to be really important to you, and if it's not, it probably is, and it's just not something you normally consider to be spiritual. Interesting. So for some reason I just got tattoo artists. Let's just say you're a tattoo artist. It's like you may have an image, or you may be given an image to work with and to basically duplicate. But it's like you add something that isn't necessarily a part of the picture, but it makes it even more beautiful. That's your intuition. Whatever that is, that's just kind of like activating and asking you to do more than what is necessarily requested. Especially, that's just an example, but especially in that example, it's like that's your intuition working. You may not have ever put a name to it. You may have just called it talent. You may have just called it like your natural ability, and all of that is true, but it's tied to your intuition. Your energy is very quiet. Basically, you guys are masters at going into your depths, into your waters, into the ether, whatever you want to call that creative space. You're really good at going there to bring things out. You're really good at going into that space and channeling it out, especially with this moon behind the Queen of Cups. The moon sheds a light, especially the full moon, which that one is a full moon in this picture. It sheds a light on things that may be hidden, on things that may otherwise not be seen, and that is absolutely you guys. However you're doing that, I use the example with artists, but if you're not an artist, put it where it resonates. I'm also getting like kind of Page of Swords energy, in the sense where it's like some of you guys may I don't know, it's just something about you guys almost seems like a little offhand with your intuition. Like you're just reading people for filth basically, not even knowing it, and then you're leaving people like, correction, okay. That's what it is. So y'all have the ability to do this. Y'all have the ability to see things that other people miss. Y'all have the ability to see different patterns in human behavior, the way that people interact. Like y'all are that group that you can tell if two people in a room are romantically involved, even if they're not being public about it. Like y'all just sense shit like that. I'm getting spy energy with y'all for real, but I don't even think you try. You're just, that is your gift. You just sense connections. You sense energies. You've learned to keep it hush hush though. And I do, kind of going back to that Page of Swords energy I picked up on for a brief moment earlier. You've learned to keep it quiet because maybe as a kid you would express different things and it did not go over well with the adults in your life. You may have noticed that someone looked stressed, or that someone had a strange mark that nobody else noticed. You may have noticed that like two people had more tension than usual, and you would just say it out loud. You would just ask them to their face, like, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all okay? You seem a little stressed. Some seems different. You okay? And you may have learned that that's not necessarily the best approach to take with people. You probably got reprimanded by your parents or by your guardians or whatever to just, mind your own business. And there's something about that, whatever this gift is, however this applies to you, where you're meant to start talking about it again. Not necessarily for Ooh. Sorry, your message, I just started to see how your message is kind of relating to me. Which I kind of operate under the assumption that all of the readings I do are related to me, even if it's just a little bit. Like, that's the only way I'd be able to get the message to you, right? For some reason, that's important for me to say for you guys. Some of you may be at the very beginning of your energy work, or like understanding energy and spirituality, understanding your gift. Because I am feeling the need to like over explain some things. But anyway, somehow you're being asked to not put a lid on it anymore. This Nine of Wands, this protective energy, Nine of Wands is very protective. It's very guarded, because by the time this guy has gotten to the Nine of Wands, he's been through it. He has been through the mud, literally. So there is this guardedness that I feel with you guys, but it doesn't necessarily feel natural. It feels imposed. It feels like that was how you were programmed to be. And that's okay, because to be fair, maybe it's not the best idea to go asking people who just argued in the car if they're okay or not. But somewhere, somehow, in some of your reactions, you can take the lid off. And you're going to have to figure out where this applies to you, or how this applies to you, because number one, it's going to be different for everybody, but also your reading, this energy is just very quiet. Quiet as it's kept, right? Whistleblower just kind of came through. You guys are literally like some sort of secret weapon. And there's somewhere where you can talk about the things that you see. You can express and shed a light on the things that you sense and feel. For some of you, this may just be getting into art so that you can better express things that you can't necessarily say, or that you don't necessarily feel comfortable saying. For some of you, this may be like maybe opening yourself up more with your loved ones. So maybe not asking strangers why they look so tense, but if you notice that your friend is looking a little off, maybe you get more comfortable just asking them what's up. Like I said, it's going to be a little different for all of you, but there is somewhere where you don't necessarily have to keep what you're sensing quiet anymore. You're actually being guided to share it with this King of Swords. Swords is all about communication, and this king is rushing into the communication. There's also something here about anger with this King of Swords too. This is the same King of Swords that's been out for all three piles, but for some reason he is coming kind of with like a side message about anger or war energy, battle energy. If you notice that it's a little harder these days to keep calm, carry on, you notice it's a little harder these days to ignore stuff, that's good. That's exactly where you should be. I'm not saying to lose your temper. It's not saying to do something you may regret later. There is something about needing to honor your anger, though. I feel like anger makes some of you feel shame, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's a human, natural emotion, just like any other emotion we have. Anger, a thing to know about it, though, if you do feel shame about it, is that anger is a secondary emotion. So normally when we're angry, it's because we're disappointed in something. It's because we are sad about something. It's like usually there's something else underneath the anger that's causing the anger. It's rare that people are angry just for anger's sake. Does that make sense? Usually it's like a derivative of another emotion that came before it. And so that may be important too, to figure out like what's triggering you these days, what's making you angry, and to dive deep and do some self-reflection to see where that's coming from. Like, what's the actual emotion that's there underneath the anger? Because for some of you, that's creating some sort of blockage, just feeling the shame over whatever emotion. Like, most of you, I do feel like it's anger, but if it's not anger, there's some emotion that we feel ashamed to have. And there's just something about needing to look at that and clear that blockage. And as I said that, I just, which I don't normally do this, but I just like wiped my hands over my heart. So for some of you, that may be all you need to do to clear a blockage, is just move your hands over your heart in some sort of way. Some of you guys may want to get into Reiki. Definitely a lot of different spiritual modalities coming up. And honestly, if none of that resonates, just find the one that works for you. But there is something about just getting rid of that shame. Intuition can flow a bit more clearly. I think I mentioned at the very beginning of the video, before we got into the pile readings, that this cloud kind of looked like a white dog to me. And I'm kind of seeing that again, so that could be significant for you guys in this pile. You know how like on spiritual channels, there's a lot of guidance, and I am also guilty of this, but there's a lot of guidance to like get back to the inner child and kind of be like a kid again. Like how as a kid, you're not afraid of expressing different things. For you guys, I'm almost getting like, be like a dog. And as I say that, I see the word strength appear on this Nine of Wands, which is calling me to the strength card in tarot. And this talks all about the battle or the balance between the civilized side and the primal side. So going back to that saying, be like a dog, it's like we see videos all the time of dogs being sassy, being loud, being boisterous, being reckless, all these sorts of types of dogs not necessarily behaving, and we just laugh and think it's cute. And like it is. It fucking is. I'm not saying it's not. But there's something about being like a dog, allowing yourself to be free in that way, in the freedom of expression. Because even as kids, even when you were free to do that, you also came up against a lot of criticism. You also came up against a lot of, well, don't do that, people don't like, you also came up against a lot of programming and restructuring. Nobody expects dogs to be any better than what they are. And with you guys, something about you, because I keep coming to this Queen of Cups and then also this Nine of Wands, something about you guys seems very restrained. And I just got the word strangled. Like, yeah, like throat chakra work may be important. Because you're pushing a lot down. You're pushing a lot back. So yeah, don't even be like a kid. Be like a dog. Be shamelessly expressive. Maybe don't necessarily go humping things in public. But as far as like the emotional expression that dogs have, all of the attitude that they give, all of the love that they give, all of the loudness and quietness and side eyes and this and that, like they just get away with all of it. You can too. What are people gonna do? I mean, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, what are people gonna do? All right, pile 3. Your pile is one of those where I definitely feel like if I sit here long enough, we could do this all day. And I don't have all day. I have other things to do. So I'm going to leave this here. But absolutely feel free to look at the screenshot feel free to take a screenshot and see what these images evoke for you. Maybe go look up the different card meanings. Some of you guys may be into tarot. Maybe go take a tarot class. That's how I got into it. But definitely explore more of those emotional depths and explore different healing and spiritual modalities, because I feel like you guys are like, it's time to start clearing some shit. It's time to start channeling some shit. It's time to start having a better understanding and sense of how powerful you are, because you guys are very powerful. So yeah, like I said, we could sit here all day. Pile 3, thank you guys so much for your beautiful, amazing energy. I want to thank our spiritual team for allowing me to translate this message for you guys. I definitely hope this message helped and resonated, or at the very least, entertained you. I look forward to seeing y'all in my next video. But until then, I will see you later, Pile 3.